Welcome to the Dog Talk Podcast, episode 3. We got Stephen DiTomaso today, the Bird Dogs center fielder and all-star. Heck of a season for Stephen in his first professional year. Stephen, how are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me, Spence.
You're looking great. The mullet seems to be gone. You growing your hair out a bit.
Yeah, it was getting a little too long during the season. At the end of the season, I was getting too hot, so I decided to get it all cut off, and then I haven't gotten a haircut since, so it's been growing out a little bit, but I don't know. We'll see where the hair goes.
It's looking good. I wonder if we'll see that mullet back. But we need a true mullet from you.
I don't know if I can get a true mullet going. I'm more like
Tapia and Pino would like that.
they would.
Actually,
Yeah.
Tapia and Pino, they didn't know what a real mullet looked like. And I showed them like a true, 80s mullet, and they were shocked. Like that was the
I'm
first time they've ever seen a mullet. It was an
I'm sure
awesome
they were.
experience for me.
I'm sure they enjoyed it. They could grow one of those out.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
So you up in New Jersey?
For right now, yeah.
Nice.
Yes,
We're
sir.
back in your hometown?
Yes.
Nice. Are you
Yep.
close to the beach? I don't remember.
Yes, but obviously it's freezing out right now, so
Right.
doesn't really mean much nowadays. But
Gotcha.
yes, I am close to the
Sweet.
beach.
Well, you had a heck of a year. You bat 301, 75 games played. Five homers, 36 RBI, 16 stolen bases. I know you're not much of a numbers guy, but overall, what was your first season in professional baseball like?
It was good. I mean, it was a lot of fun. I think that's what I was going into it looking for, is to have fun playing baseball. And I think our team certainly is easy to have fun playing with. Our coaching staff really does a good job of like, do what you need to do to be your best, and whatever that looks like, whatever that may be, just go do it and play well and you'll continue to play. So it's kind of like a good atmosphere to be around. And yeah, I had fun.
When you first got the opportunity to play professional baseball for the Bird Dogs, how did that come up, and what were your initial thoughts?
I was in Florida last off season. It was probably around this time, probably around like the December area. I got a DM on Instagram, and I read the DM and I was like, I was confused at first because it was kind of like it was the pitching coach that wasn't and did not end up being our pitching coach. Um, and he DM'd me and was just like, "Are you a free agent or are you in college?" And I was like, "Free agent." And at this point, I didn't really know if I was going to continue playing. So I was beginning to think about reaching out to teams. And like as soon as I was like, okay, I'm going to start reaching out to teams, I got this DM. And it was in my request DM folder for like a few days before I even saw it. And then I was like, hey, like, yeah, I'm a free agent looking for a team to play. He was like, cool. Manager Brett will reach out to you soon. I was like, cool. And then didn't hear from Brett for a while. And I was like, all right, whatever. Like, that's fine. It's just a team. I can get signed by another team, no big deal. And then Brett reached out and I was like, oh. And he was like, yo, want to sign you? And I was like, cool, let's do it. And then, yeah, we ended up getting me signed.
Nice, man. So
Yeah.
you've been in the area before, and we'll get into that later. At least Eastern North Carolina. You played in the Coastal Plain League in 2023 with the Wilmington Sharks. I definitely want to get more into that, but what was it like coming back to Eastern North Carolina and being pretty close to the beach?
It was sweet. I found myself in North Carolina quite a few times, like you said. After my sophomore year of college, I played in for the Boone Bigfoots, who were at that time, it was their first year, and we were just kind of an independent college ball team. And we had a connection there because one of our old coaches at GW was now coaching them. So we ended up playing there, and that was a lot of fun. And the next summer, I ended up playing Vermont, and then the summer after that, back to North Carolina. And yeah, I mean, I've just found myself in North Carolina playing a lot of baseball, and it's been a great time, great weather, especially in the summer months. And yeah, I enjoy it. I love the beach too, so Wilmington's definitely nice to get down there. see my host family and get some time on the beach. So it's been good.
So you've seen the mountains up in Boone, and you've seen the beach. Do you have a preference, mountains or beach?
I'm a beach guy. I always have been. I mean, I grew up going to the beach and like living at the beach basically in Jersey. Um, so it's kind of what I've been raised on. So the beach always has my heart, but I think the mountains is a nice touch, get away in the mountains for like a week or two, kind of disconnect from the ways of the world nowadays with all phones and everything. You're constantly on it. So I think it's a nice touch to add a mountain week in there.
So let's take a look back at opening day. We played you had spring training, some practices, some inter squads, and then some exhibition games. So you were settled here for like a week and a half before you played your first game. Um, But that first game, of course, it was the first game for the Bird Dogs. It's the first professional game for you. And not only that, you were leading off. So you were the first hitter in the Bird Dogs history. Did that cross your mind at all, or was it kind of just another game?
Um, yeah, I don't think I knew it was a cool experience because it was the first game ever for the Bird Dogs. So I was aware that it was a very big moment, I guess, for the town, the team, the coaches, every player. But I wasn't really thinking about like, oh, I'm the first hitter ever in Bird Dogs history. Like I didn't think about that for a personal standpoint. Um, I think, yeah, I don't know. I was just kind of going into it like, oh, it's my first professional game. My parents were
Right.
there, like my family was there to support me. I was just excited. There was a huge crowd, so it was fun to play in front of a big fan base who were very excited to see another baseball game in Kinston. So that's kind of what I was more where my mind was, and I was just excited to play.
So you not only were you the first hitter, you also recorded the first hit and you scored the first run in Bird Dogs history. Um, that do you remember just the game, opening day, the game? Um, And what was your mindset throughout that game?
Yeah, I remember it pretty clearly. I know I got up my first at bat, and I'm someone that like usually if I swing and miss, like I know exactly why I swung and missed, or like I had an idea of what mistake I made. I just remember very clearly that like we were facing a lefty who had a really good changeup. So I went up not really thinking about it, but like I knew he threw a lot of changeups, but I was like, whatever, it's just a changeup. And I was just going up like, all right, let's just go get a hit, first AB, first hit, let's do it. And then I swung and missed at two changeups in a row. And I thought in my head, I was like, oh my God, like that changeup was a very good changeup. Because usually you can, like, changeups don't usually fall off the table the way that was. And I ended up getting out, and I was pissed, but it's like, whatever, I'll go get a hit my next at bat. I came up my next at bat realizing that we were getting no hit in the first 3 innings of our first game ever as the Bird Dogs. And I was like, all right, there's just absolutely 0% chance I don't get a hit now. Like that pissed me off, so I'm gonna go get a hit now. And like I'll get the first hit in Bird Dogs history, whatever. But like I was just pissed. I knew that he was throwing a no hitter, and I was mad. Um, and I knew he was gonna throw me a changeup again because I swung and missed at two of them and looked stupid in my first at bat. And he did. And I just knew I was gonna get a pitch down in the zone, and I was gonna stay through it. So that's what I did, and punched up the middle for like a line drive, up the middle. So
Yeah.
I do remember that very clearly.
Well, that's good. As your first professional hit, first hit in Bird Dogs history, that's a memorable one. Um, the next day, which was May 10th, Star Wars uniforms. Um, what you hit a home run. That was it. That was a big moment in that game for you. Not only that, you had a great opening series. You went 4 for 8 with 4 runs and a home run during that opening series. Do you remember that home run?
Yes, I remember that home run clearly also because it was my birthday.
Oh, I
So,
forgot about that.
yes.
That was a big moment too.
Yeah, so it was my birthday. My family was there. It was like opening weekend. There was a ton of fans at the game. And I guess, when it's your birthday, you always got like good vibes going. You just feel better, feel good, feel special. And I remember that day, like everything kind of just like went together perfectly, like I woke up, I was with my family the whole morning, and we went and got breakfast. We did the whole thing. We went to Target, like we were just having fun living. I got my free Starbucks coffee, which was cool. And then yeah, I just felt really good seeing the ball, and I think my first at bat I lined out to center field, and I was like, okay, I'm seeing it super well. Like, whatever. Had a great AB. I can't do anything about it. Like, I hit the ball hard. I did exactly what I wanted to. And I knew the pitcher was leaving fastballs up. And my second bat, I believe it was my second bat, maybe my third, but I got a fastball up and I hit it pretty good, elevated it. And then I was super excited. I was pointing at my family and stuff. So it was cool. It was a good day. It was a good experience.
You were very close to the first home run in Bird Dogs history, but Pino just beat you out, and it was a shot right out to center field. I think it was maybe a foot above the wall. I mean, it barely cleared it, but hey, he hit it out.
Yeah, if it goes over the wall, it's a home run. I don't care how far it goes.
Yeah, it's funny, you hit 5 home runs on the year. You're not. I wouldn't say you're a home run hitter, um, especially because you are in that leadoff spot. That's not your goal. Your goal is to get on base. Um, and you only let off all year. Anytime you were in the game, you were leading off. Um, but fast forward, we look at the All-Star game. You get named an All-Star. You go up there with BK Brandon Kaminer, who we just had on last episode, and he kind of gave his thoughts and what happened throughout you becoming the home run derby champion and the process of that. I want you to break it down completely, dissect it. The day that happened, I want to know, starting from the trip to Tri-City. You went up with one of our owners, Bill Ellis. Um, you, Brandon Kaminer, Bill, and was his wife with you guys too?
Yes, she
Okay.
was.
So you guys all went up to Tri-City together. Starting from that point, when you left Kinston, and then up until the Home Run Derby champion.
Yeah, so we left Kinston and we drove to the airport. We flew into New York. Um, our flight ended up getting it delayed a bunch, so we got there late. Um, and that night when we were getting there, there was like a whole welcome party kind of thing, where they announced the all-star teams. Like there was a band, there was live music. So it was really cool. So we got there late because our flight kept getting delayed. We ended up getting to the hotel, the Desmond, which was a beautiful hotel. If you've ever been, you know the Desmond is nice. And there was like a whole setup there for the All-Stars. You got like a goodie bag, your room keys, they took your bags and everything. So me and BK got there. We went to our room and they were like, go to your room. You have like 4 minutes to get back on this bus and then go. And we're like, okay, whatever. Like no shower, like after a long day of travel, whatever. So we go back to the room, we come back and they're like, the bus already left. Sorry. And we're like, okay. She was like, now you got to wait for the Mississippi Mud Monsters because they're the last kids coming. Like they were the latest. And we were like, all right. So she's like, it should be like 5 minutes they should be here and then we'll all take you over. And I was like, okay. So we end up sitting there for like 45 minutes. Like me and BK just sitting in the lobby and waiting for the Mud Monsters. They finally show up. We go. We get there. Great night. Like super cool event. All the all-stars there. A ton of the coaches, the commissioner, just so many people, like families, and it was just a really good event. Like you got to meet all the kids that you kind of had been competing against for the entire beginning of the year. And that's always cool because you realize like, oh wow, these kids are actually cool. You don't want to like kill them. So it was fun to meet everyone. Uh, so that was a fun night. Got home, went to sleep, woke up the next day, and we went to Cooperstown for the Baseball Hall of Fame. So that was like a long drive. It was like a 2-hour drive. And so we wake up, we go there. We have like a whole tour of the Baseball Hall of Fame. So we get to go in. Um, Bought some hats. Like I bought like an old school Red Sox hat, even though I'm a Phillies fan, but the Red Sox hat was cool. So I bought that. Like we got a whole tour and then so they closed the Hall of Fame. We got to have dinner in the Baseball Hall of Fame, which was like one of the cooler experiences of my life because the only people that really get to do that is guys getting inducted into the Hall of Fame. Um, so I have some pictures from that night that are super cool because like you were literally eating where all of these players have been, like the best players to ever play the game, with their plaques on the wall. And then Jim Catt came and spoke to us, who was a Hall of Fame pitcher. And getting to speak to him and just like hear what he had to say and his experiences was really cool because he was like, today's game is so much different. And if I played today, like I would have never been in the MLB or been a Hall of Famer. And it's just he was explaining how different today's game is. And it was really interesting to like hear him say that. So it was cool. The dinner was great. Got to talk to like everyone throughout the league. And then there was so much like we went home that night, we went to sleep, but it was so planned out that I feel like I'm forgetting things because from the minute we got there till the minute we left, like you were doing something the entire time. So it was like a crazy, just moving so fast. And it was so cool. They put together a really good event. So then whatever, we have dinner. That was super cool night. My whole family was there. Like the dinner was really awesome. All the families were there. Then we woke up the next morning and we went to the racetrack at Saratoga Springs. And so that was a really cool experience too. Like, we had a whole buffet on the side that was only for us. Like you could only get in if you were an all-star or the family members, obviously. Um, Ate a bunch of food, watched some races. Actually, on the way out, like we were all trying to throw money on these horses just to see what would happen. Like the long shot one, it was like 40 to 1 odds on the last race while we were walking out. So that was cool. So I got into the car from the racetrack to go straight to the field to go to the game. Cause like that was how packed it was. Like there was not a moment you were down. You were so straight from the racetrack to the game. So I actually got in the car with Ethan Wilder, who was the shortstop for the Wild Things this year, who's one of my good friends, and his mom and Brandon came in her, and she drove us to the field. And so we're sitting there, and on our way over to the field, I got a text from the deputy commissioner, and he was like, "Hey, can you give me a call?" I was like, "Why would the commissioner want to talk to me right now? Like, what did I do? Did I like do something last night and I'm in trouble?" Like, I was so confused. I was like, "This doesn't make any sense at all." Um, so I was like, "Yeah, sure." And Ethan and Brandon were like, "Why? What is going on?" I was like, "Whatever." So I call him. He's like, "Hey, like, we want you to compete in the home run derby." And I was like, "What? Why?" And I was just like, yeah, sure." He was like, "We haven't gotten hold of Brett. We wanted to ask him, but he isn't answering. So, like, can you give us a response?" I was like, "Let me call Brett. I'll get right back to you." So I get in the car, I get off the phone, and I'm like, I'm so confused. Like, at that point, I had 3 home runs on the year. Um, I'm a leadoff hitter, like speed guy. I can hit home runs, but like I wasn't at that time perf I wasn't producing home runs like that. So I called Brett. He was like, "If you want to, sure, like do whatever you want." And then I talked to TJ too, and TJ was like the same thing. So I was like, "All right, whatever." So I called my dad. I was like, "Hey, like he just asked me to do the home run derby," and I was like, "Yeah, sure. If it doesn't mess up your swing, do whatever you want." I was like, "All right, cool." And then I texted one of my really good friends from home, who I played high school baseball with, John Cristino, who won the home run derby the year before. And I was like, "Yo, they just asked me to be in the home run derby." He was like, "Yeah, duh. Like, why wouldn't you just do it?" And I was like, "All right, cool." So I called him back. I was like, "Hey, yeah, I'd love to participate in the home run derby." He was like, "All right, cool, done." So then they like post the whole lineup on Instagram, and it's like whatever, the guys that are like against each other. And I was the last one to hit that I saw in the lineup, and I was like, "All right, whatever." So we get to the field. I'm like talking to all the guys in the locker room. I'm like, "Yo, I don't know what's going on, but they just called me and asked me in the home run derby. I have 3 bombs, but like whatever." And somebody was like, um, Luis Acevedo from Jersey Jackals was like, "Nah, dude, like you're playing yourself down too much. Like I know you're gonna win it now. Like the underdog, you're gonna win it now." And I was like, "Dude, I don't know." Um, so we go out, like the coach comes in, he's like, "Yo, let's go. Like we gotta get moving. We got BP." I'm like, "All right, cool." Like we go out to BP. The machine was, I mean, all baseball players will understand this, but some pitching machines are just like so weird. And when we got to the field that day, this pitching machine like all pitching machines obviously have ramps for people that don't like know, but so it has a tiny ramp you drop the ball in, and then it gets to the wheels and it pops out. So this pitching machine that day was rolling down the ramp, getting stuck at the wheels, pausing for a second, then shooting out like a changeup. So we get out there. I take literally the worst BP of all time. I was like, there's just no way this is real. Like, I'm facing a changeup on BP. It comes out at different speeds every pitch. Like, I was like, this is terrible. And then our BP round got cut short. So we got like 2 rounds or 3 rounds of the worst BP ever. And maybe I'm just being like a wimp about it, but I had terrible BP. I was like, whatever. And then we go inside. The pitching coach for the Titans came up to me. He was like, hey, like, do you have anyone to throw to you for the home run derby? And I was like, no. He was like, well, I'd love to try out for the position. And I was like, sure, whatever. So we go into the cage and I was like, for the home run derby, like, I just want like elevated pitches, middle. I don't really want them in, but just middle elevated pitches. He was like, cool, I got you. So we get in the cage right before the home run derby starts, and he is peppering me down and away. Like, I'm getting carved in the cage. I'm almost whiffing at pitches because he is peppering down and away, like dotting every pitch. And in my head, I was like, it is so nice of him to try to help me. But if I let him throw to me, I'm literally going to be hitting like backside line drives. Like, I can't because I'm down and away. It's just, you can't really hit home runs in a home run derby off pitches like that. And they were hard too. Like, he wasn't like lobbing it. There was like, phew. I was like, all right, I got to do something. Um, so I went up to, or Austin Dennis came up to me and was like, yo, do you want me to throw to you? Like, I tried last year, they wouldn't let me, but like, I'd like to throw to you. And I was like, dude, I would love that. Like, can you come throw to me in the cage real quick? Like, it's about to start. He was like, yeah, I got you. So we go in the cage. He throws me around, and I'm like, money. Like, that's perfect. Let's do it. Like, you're my guy. He's like, all right. I was like, are you sure you don't care? Like, I don't want to like mess you up before the game. He's like, no, like, I want to. Please let me. I was like, word, definitely. So they're like, all right, we're going. And we walk outside, and we were all just waiting. And then I was, like I said, the last guy to go. And Kyle Crow was talking to everyone. I guess he's competed in a few times before, and he was leading the league in home runs at this point, I think. And someone was like, yo, like, how many home runs do you need to advance to the second round? He was like, probably 8 and you'll be good. And I had competed in the NECBL Home Run Derby in 2023, I believe, or 2022, one of those years. Probably 2022. And I think I hit 8 in that Home Run Derby, and the wind was like howling in from left field. And so as soon as he said that, in my head, I was like, I can hit 8. Like, I know for sure I can hit 8. So I was like, all right, like, now that I know I can do that, like, I'm just gonna win. Why not at this point, Like, I'm already here. I'm not gonna go out there and hit none and like embarrass myself. So why not just win it now? Um, so then, everyone had like a few teammates there being there, like almost like pit car races, like in NASCAR, and you're like a pit guy, like a crew, like a pit crew, like just kind of like that. So Luis Acevedo and BK were like my guys. They like came out with towels at your timeout with like water and then a white monster because you need white monster. Shout out white monster. Um, and so I think after the first, like, I was the last person to hit. So all I needed, I think, was 4 or 5 home runs to make it into the second round. So I was like, cool. I think it was 2-minute rounds. You get one break. That's like a 30-second or 45-second timeout. So in my mind, I was like, that's easy. Like, I'll just hit 2 home runs, take a break, and then hit another 2 or 3, like whatever. And so I got up, I start swinging, and I'm like hitting line drives, like low line drives. I'm like, ugh. So I don't hit 2 until probably like a minute and 30 seconds or something. Like, I had not much time left, maybe like a minute and 15 seconds. So I had like 45 seconds left to hit 2 more. So after I hit 2, I was like, all right, that's my halfway point. I know I can hit 2 more after that. Like, I'm fine. And then after my timeout, Austin Dennis like realized like, oh God, like he means elevated. Like, he doesn't want like top of the zone. Like, he wants elevated pitches. So he started like just dotting, middle and up. And after the like within the 45 seconds I had left after my timeout, I think I hit six. So I ended the first round in first place. So then I got to hit again last, I think. I don't remember the exact rules. But then the second round came, and again I hit last. Kyle Crow was, I think, the guy in first when I came up. Um, so I just had to hit like, I forget how many to make it into the finals with him, but a certain amount. Um, and I ended up hitting like nine or something, something like that. Maybe 11. I don't know. Probably like nine or six.
A lot.
But I remember I had like 15 to 20, 25 seconds left when I knew I made it in the finals. So I stopped swinging because I thought, like, okay, whatever. Like, I made it in the finals already. I don't need to swing anymore. And they didn't tell me until the final round, like, oh, these last two rounds are cumulative. So whatever you got in the semifinals and the finals add
Oh
up to.
no.
And I was like, well, you guys didn't tell me that. Like, I just wasted 30 seconds of my time. Um, and then Kral ended up hitting, I think, like seven in the last round. And I had beat him in the semifinals, so I only needed to hit like five because it was cumulative. Um, so at that point, I was like, all right, like I can go do this. Like, let's just go win. And then I hit like four pretty quickly. And then I knew I only needed one more to win. And so like I rolled over like five pitches in a row and I was like, oh my God. And I had like 30 seconds left and then I finally hit one. And yeah, I won, you know?
That's awesome. I love that
Yeah.
Austin Dennis Hope. Yeah, he's a obviously player for the New York Boulders. Um, that is such a good story. I love like that is the biggest underdog to come in not knowing that you're going to be in the home run derby until a couple hours before, then finding out you had a terrible BP session. You went through you got your you went through someone pitching to you and it just was not it, so you moved on to the next one. And then you still competed and you struggled at the beginning and you wasted 30 seconds. You still won and you won pretty smoothly. I mean, it was you were in the lead for a good chunk of that, and I was watching from home and just like, no way. Is Stephen DiTomaso about to win the home run derby right now? So
Yeah.
after the fact, I know that everyone celebrated and everyone came to you, but you had to go play in the All-Star game like what, 30 minutes after that?
Yeah. Yeah.
So did you have like adrenaline from the home run derby to tone down a bit?
Yeah. I won and it was cool. Like everyone was super cool, like everyone was coming up to me like but you kind of know the guys just from playing against them, but you don't really know them and everyone was super super supportive and really cool. Just everyone coming up to me like dapping me up like, yo, sick job, like cuz we were literally talking about it in the locker room and I was like, guys, like what is going on? Like why am I doing this? Um Not that I didn't believe in myself, but it was just like I wasn't producing the amount of home runs where I should be in the home run derby. Um and we were all just laughing about it. And then they were like, dude, what was that? Like the catcher, I think they had high school kids from around the area doing the catching for the Herman Derby. The catcher was like, dude, you were hitting some tanks. And I was like, thanks, dude. Because like I didn't even get to see them. The only one I really remember, um, I'm pretty sure Jason Agresti hit a ball that like if you know Tri-Cities Field, it has like a hill and then that big scoreboard in left field and then like this shed that's near there. He hit a ball so far, and I was like, "Oh my God, what was that?" I think Kyle Krall hit a few that were ridiculous too. But yeah, it was really cool. I like got interviewed right after it. They gave me the bat, which is cool. I have it somewhere around here. I think downstairs. My dad has it, which is it's a really cool like piece. It's a good memory. And then like my dad came down and I saw him, and he was like super happy. Um, And then I just went in and like by the time we got in the locker room after that, like it was definitely a lot of adrenaline. Like I was high on life. Put the bat down and we had to go like right back out to warm up for the game. So then I didn't play the first half of the game. I got in my first at bat in like the fourth inning or fifth inning. So I played, I think the last five. And my first at bat, obviously, I was like, all right, like I got juice, dude. I just won the home derby. Let me just hit a nuke. And so I struck out. Classic. I swung really hard a few times, but I don't even think I meant to. It was just like mentally it just happened. But it was fun. It was a good
Awesome.
time.
And BK, of course, got the win, recorded the win in the All-Star game. It was a great day for the Bird Dogs, that All-Star game. That was a really fun time. But of course, you had the juice. You realized, okay, I have all this power. I've been using it. Literally, the next series against Quebec, you hit 2 home runs in that 3-game stretch, which is just awesome. And
Yeah.
I know that was one of your favorite road trips, and it was for many. Quebec is obviously one of the best spots to play in. Um, Talk to me about those 2 homers you hit after the home run derby.
Yeah. I just felt like I knew I could hit home runs, so it's like I always have known, but I've just been like a smaller speed guy. So like, I use kind of both to my advantage, but like a lot of my game's always been hitting low line drives, and like when home runs come, they will. I just don't really worry about hitting home runs. But yeah, I came into Quebec and I was like, whatever, like who cares? I'm just gonna hit bombs. And I wasn't trying to hit home runs at all. I just knew I was trying to swing softer and make better contact, like smoother contact to the ball. So I wasn't worried. Like I wasn't trying to hit home runs, but I had the confidence like I'll just hit home runs, like it doesn't matter. Um, so yeah, my first at bat in Quebec, I got a fastball down and out and I hit a line drive, like barreled a line drive to right field. And like I knew I felt good. I was seeing the ball really well. I was moving in like slow motion, like I was just doing everything smooth. Um, yeah, so then the first home run I hit that week was I think off a changeup, and I just was super smooth to it. I got out in front of it and under it, and it felt like I barely even touched the ball. Like it just was so smooth. And as soon as I hit it, I was like, yeah, that's gone. Like I knew. It's probably one of the furthest balls I've hit. Probably this year was definitely probably one of the further balls I hit. But as soon as I hit it, I knew. And I just felt like super smooth, really. Like I was just going lightly to the ball, and I just saw the ball so well that entire week. Um, so that ball I just elevated. The second home run I hit that week, it was off a fastball. I think it was like a 3-2 count. I'm pretty sure I had two strikes on me. And I just hit a low line drive, but it was like one of the hardest balls I ever hit. I think it was like 110 off the bat or something. Um, and I hit it and I knew I barreled it really well, but it was like the launch angle was so low that I was just like, I don't know if it'll get out. So I just started running like I assumed to be a double. And then it got over the fence. And yeah, that was pretty cool. It was a good week. It was really cool to play. I mean, playing that atmosphere is sick, and then playing well in that atmosphere is even better because like they're so loud and screaming at you the whole time. And when you do really well in front of them, it's like, all right, what are they going to do now? And they kind of shut up a little bit, which is a really cool experience, you know? So
That's
that was
awesome.
nice. Yeah, Quebec was
Yeah,
fun.
man. That stretch of the season was so much fun. Just the Canadian trip and obviously the All-Star game and just watching you perform so well was a good time. Um, I want to talk about another moment, another first in Bird Dogs history. Seems like you're all over the boards in the first. But you hit the first walk off in Bird Dogs history. It was early June. I believe it was against Tri City, and a single up the middle brought a run home in the first walk off. What was that moment like? The celebration and you know, obviously it was the first walk off in your professional career, first walk off as a team to really get things rolling.
Yeah. I didn't really know about the whole like it was the first walk off in Bird Dog's history, so I definitely wasn't thinking about that, because when you're just like playing, especially at that point in the season, it's like you're kind of pretty. good amount into the season, you're not really thinking like, have we hit a walk-off yet this year? Like you just didn't, I didn't really think about it. Um, but I remember the moment very clearly. I was in the on deck circle and I was like, if I get up, I'm ending the game. Like I already decided it in my head because I think I'm not sure, but I might have gotten out earlier in the game and like cost like didn't hit it, didn't bat a run in or like didn't get an RBI. Um, but maybe I was just thinking about like another game. But I know I stepped into the on deck circle and I was like, if I get a chance to end this game, I'm ending the game. Like I knew it. So I stepped up, um, and I got the chance and I swung at the first pitch. I think it was a cutter or a fastball. Um, and I was just so like mentally locked in to do it that I knew it was going to happen. So I swung at the first pitch and hit a line drive up the middle. And yeah, the celebration was awesome. It's always fun to celebrate with your teammates and your friends. Uh, so that was a good experience. It was fun. It was a lot of
Was
fun.
that the walk-off that Tonka pooped on the field?
I'm not sure. I
I
think
don't
so,
remember.
maybe.
I'm pretty sure it was because everyone was coming in from the outfield. Tonka the Bat Dog was running around. Everyone's running. So Tonka, of course, was running around in the infield, just squats down and poops, and it capped off the walk-off. I'm pretty sure that was your walk-off. But that was hilarious. I thought that was a great moment. To
Tonka's
to
the
put it,
best, dude.
Tonka is the best. I
Yeah.
love Tonka. Everyone loves Tonka. What's
You
not to
gotta,
love?
yeah, right? You gotta love Tonka.
Tonka did a great job. The You had a bunch of like great catches throughout the year. Um, One of my favorites, and I'm curious if it's your favorite, was the one in Brockton, where you laid out in center field, ran and caught it. Of course, you hit the ground a little hard, but you made the catch and you got the out.
Yeah, I mean that one's a little bittersweet for me, you know. Thanks for
I
bringing it up.
figured. I figured.
Appreciate that. Uh, yeah, that one I got a late read on actually because it was hit so high and there was a righty up to the bat. BK was pitching and he inside outed it. So it was tailing, it was hit the right center field and it was tailing towards right field. So off the bat, immediately I was like, all right, I have no chance of getting there. Like it's to the right fielder. Um, and about 1 millisecond after that, I realized, oh no, I can get to that. So I immediately broke to it. I was running, I was running, I was running. And then I saw it and I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna get there. So I dove and I don't even know how because like usually when I dive, if I'm diving, especially so if I'm running to my left into right center field, if I'm diving this way, like usually I'll land here or on my left side. The way I caught this is because I guess I was running so far and fast at the same time that like I caught it like this and in midair turned like this. So I landed actually like on the back of my right shoulder. And yeah, as soon as I hit the ground, I was like, oh my God, that doesn't feel good. And then Ali like dapped me up, picked me up by my right arm. And I was like, oh no. So I got in and TJ was like, are you all right? And I was like, I don't think so. It doesn't feel good. He was like, well, and I was leading off that inning. And he was like, well, if you can't swing, then just bunt. And I was like, thank you, TJ. So I went up, first pitch, hit by the pitch. And I was like, thank God, because I was in serious pain. I ran around the bases with my right arm like hanging, got to third base, and I was like, TJ, dude, I'm in pain. He was like, well, just go score. So I was like, all right. So I scored. I go in. Decker's like, can you throw? And I was like, yeah, I can throw, sure. He was like, all right, let me see. I'm like, all right. So their trainer comes over. I go into the cages and I'm like, I don't think I have a baseball around here. But basically, I was like, I went to the cage and I was like,
Oh no.
He was like, that doesn't look good. And I was like, yeah, but like I can get the job done. Like I can still play. He was like, no, you can't. I was like, I can just run the ball in. Like it'll be fine. And so like I try to throw again. I'm literally like, he's like, all right, you're good, dude. You're done. I was like, oh no. Their trainer was like, yeah, I think you're fine. Probably just a bone bruise. And I was like, all right. And then it continued hurting for the next 3 weeks. So yeah, that wasn't fun.
Yeah. It was a great catch, but that was your last game of the season, which stunk so much. I was so excited. I didn't go on that road trip. I was so excited to have you back and watch you play some more ball, but unfortunately, that didn't happen. You did finish the season batting 301, so you finished
Yeah,
above 300 at least.
it's tough. I was honestly, I wasn't hitting well at all at that point either. It's like the week or two, three leading up to that, like I was hitting the ball really well, just lining out a ton. And then I started getting out, and then I started hitting the ball not as well. And then the week before, I felt like not great, and my batting average dropped a bunch. And then I got hurt, and I was super pissed about that because I was like, damn. But nonetheless, I was having fun until I got hurt, and then that was the end of my season. But it was still really fun getting to be there to like support my teammates and my friends. Um, I think it's a different perspective you get when you get to watch. You see a lot of things you don't usually get to see when you're playing because you get to just observe the entire time. Um, which I think is good for a baseball mind or any athletic mind, really, to kind of sit there and just observe what's going on in the game. You learn a lot, you see a lot of new things, like you learn a lot about your teammates that you don't really get to see because you get to observe everything they're doing. Um, so, I still learned a lot during the end of the season and got to support my teammates, so that was fun.
Nice. Well, I'm glad you
Yeah.
see the positive in it. That's huge.
Yeah, you got to, dude.
One of my favorite relationships in the clubhouse was you and Emmanuel Tapia, oldest guy on the team, 29 years old, spoke English, but Spanish is his first language, and he spoke mainly Spanish and to our other Latin guys. But you and him had a very special connection. You guys were always chirping at each other. What was that connection like?
Um, yeah, I think I think I just like to mess with people a lot and just in a fun way, joke around, have some fun. And he likes to do the same thing, but just in completely different ways. Like he likes to he loves messing around and joking around with people, but he gets like angry too. And I guess for those of you that might not know Tapia, he's huge and he's scary when he gets mad because he actually does get mad. Um, but I love Tapia. He's hilarious and he's so fun to mess with because he like you never really know if he's mad or not until he is, but like sometimes he's joking, you're like, what? And so I just mess with him all the time. Like he was always telling me that he was trading me the entire year. He was like, no hard feelings, keep working hard. And it was funny. Like he's hilarious. He was making AI memes that I was getting traded like midway through the season, posting them on his Instagram. He's just hilarious to be around. Like getting to really know him is just comedy because you get to mess with him and like messing with him is a lot of fun because he just completely like goes full force like anger at you half the time and the other half time he's just completely joking around. So you never really know what you're gonna get. And that's fun. I also like to speak Spanish to him because he cracks up whenever I speak Spanish. Because clearly I know no Spanish. So I'll say things that are completely broken Spanish that make maybe partial sense. And he just cracks up and starts talking. And then, you never know. He's always starts talking in Spanish, and you never know if he's talking about you. Like he'll look at you and laugh and then start talking to Pino. You're like, oh, all right, cool, cool. So Top is my boy. I talk to him still here and there.
Have you guys ever had like a serious conversation?
Probably not. Probably
That's
not.
those are the best kinds of relationships, though,
Yeah. I
when you're
mean,
never
maybe
serious.
maybe once or twice, but I don't know. Probably not.
That's hilarious.
Somewhere in
I don't,
there.
I mean, I'm sure he has serious or conversations with Pino and LeBoy and whatnot, but yeah, no, I never could get anything serious out of him. Anytime I asked him any kind of question, he'd make a joke and roll it off. I'm like, I'm trying to figure out, if you like the fastball or what do you like to hit? And he's just like, I hit it. It doesn't matter. I hit it.
Yeah. That would definitely be his response. Be like, I like to hit.
Yeah.
Mm,
I like your
Doesn't care.
impression. It's perfect.
Yeah, he's comedy. I text him sometimes. We text on WhatsApp.
Mm,
He responds like 5 days later, though. I'll
mm,
text him. He'll respond with like a picture of him at the field, like a week later, and then he'll
that's
text me
awesome.
back. He commented on my Instagram post most recently, so that was nice.
There you go.
Yeah, he
That
said no hard feelings,
okay. Yeah.
which is
It's
good.
gotta mean something.
Yeah, that means it's good. I
I love it.
appreciated that.
Um, Another relationship you had, and you were always with Eli Stevens. You two were together all the time, and he's a great character. I love E. He is fun to be around and um, extremely frugal, always making his own food, no matter where we're at.
Uh,
Um, he's just a fun guy to be around. You guys seem to really hit it off.
yeah, he's he's a good dude. Me and E talk pretty frequently. He is very frugal and likes to save money, but he's got a good head on his shoulders. He's a hard worker. I think we kind of saw eye to eye on like how we go about our daily day-to-day lives and like our long-term goals for the future. And so we kind of have like, cut from the same cloth in that type of way. He he's a little bit insane though, but he's a good dude. We talk all the time. So, yeah, you know. We're definitely good friends. And
Love it.
yeah,
You've
yeah.
mentioned your dad a lot and how big of a role he's played in your career, and specifically when going to play professional baseball. I know that he was really on you, like you should go play, you should go play. What's it like having a guy that's been right there with you from when you were very little, from when you were born, and always sticks with you and really supports you?
It means everything, especially in times where like you can be unsure, growing up, there's no like guarantees in life or especially in baseball that you're going to be a good player or that things are going to work out for you. And growing up as like someone who's just you're very ambitious, like you want to always be winning, you want to always be playing well. I think I mean, obviously without him, I wouldn't be anywhere where I am. Like there's so many times where it gets really, really hard. And through high school, college, now this first year of pro ball, it's like there's times that are gonna suck. And there might be times where you want to just not quit, but like it gets hard. And yeah, he's always believed in me since I was young, since I was a really little kid. He always told me I could play professional baseball. And, without that type of belief and support, probably never make it anywhere. Like there's a lot of times where you want to change the route of your life or do something, and he's always been like, no, just keep doing what you're doing. You're doing good. And, I didn't play my freshman year of college. He was like, it doesn't matter, keep doing what you're doing. Like it'll work out. And yeah, even when I was deciding on playing pro ball or, hitting the corporate world, he was like, just play baseball, like no one gets to do this. You have a chance to do something that really very, very few people get to do. And he always has kept me like at an even keel and kept me in a right mindset to do what I do. So very thankful for that. Couldn't do anything without him and my mom, my parents. So
Love it.
that's
Yeah,
good
no,
stuff.
I one thing I haven't touched on, and we'll briefly touch on it as we wrap up here. You played 5 years of college ball at George Washington. Um, And you stuck with him throughout. Of course, we had that mutual connection, and the GOAT, McGuire Tuffy, love him.
Oh yeah.
Um, and then, of course, you had a great experience in Wilmington, um, and you had a couple GW teammates with you out there. I mean, you seem like you had a really fun time in college. Of course, in the age of the transfer portal, you don't see guys stick with a team for 5 years, too often now. And well, you stuck with them, and it seemed like you had a really good time.
Yeah, I did. And that's also back to my parents. Like, ever since I was a kid, there had been times when you're a kid that you want to quit things and, you don't see the value in them anymore. And my dad always told me, like, you told someone that you were doing this. You gave someone your word that you were going to play for them. Like, you're playing for them. And that's kind of how I've been raised and what I've been brought up through. So, yeah, at GW, they gave me opportunity after opportunity and chance to prove myself. And if I go somewhere else my freshman, sophomore year, there's no guarantee that I would have played and continued to play baseball as far as I have. So, I really appreciate everything the coaches at GW did for me, even when maybe I wasn't playing very well. And they still had the faith in me and the person that I was. And yeah, so they they gave me the faith and belief in me, so they in return obviously got my faith and belief in them. So yeah, GW was great. I met a lot of my best friends there. Uh, I love talking to all of my friends that I made at GW. You go through, especially in 5 years, you meet so many new teammates and so many guys from all over the world, country, and just so many different personalities that you get to meet. So yeah, GW was cool. I played with Benny Wilson in Wilmington. So Benny's a absolute character, but Wilmington's a great place too. The beach is sick. Coaches are great. They're always a great atmosphere for playing baseball. A lot of like really supportive people around the entire town of Wilmington. Like they love the Wilmington Sharks. And yeah, Wilmington was sweet. My host family's great. They come to see me at in Kinston every once in a while. So I've stayed really close with them. Amazing people. So I love them. And yeah,
Shout
been
out the
a
Sharks. Shout out Russ Burrows. Shout out Evan Johnson.
yeah, shout
Such a
out.
good crew over there.
Yeah, great crew. Shout out the Joneses host family. They're the
Yeah,
best.
there you go. Final question here. What are some things you're looking forward to for next year? Some goals, just things that are on your mind.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm looking forward to really seeing like, first year of anything or first time going through something, there's always going to be hiccups. There's going to be things you learn from, really, is what I think the best way to say it is. And not that I'm hating on last year at all. Like, I think we did a great job overall. Um, but there's a lot of things that I think we're learning from as a team. And a lot of the guys that are returners now have a stronger connection to all of us. Like, and we have a stronger base of like how the bird dogs go about business now. So we know now when we get back, like, okay, this is our core group of guys right now. And obviously we're bringing in other guys and we're going to have like a foundation of how things are done. So I'm just really excited to get back and play again. I miss playing. I miss swinging every day and getting like live at bats. And I'm excited to live with the guys again. That's always fun, you know?
You miss
And
Bojangles?
I don't know about that. I love Bojangles. Bojangles is good. I eat it. You got to mix in a Bojangles, especially when you live right next to it.
Right.
It's good food. But you eat it so much, at some point you're like, all right, it's nice for a little break, but no hate on Bojangles at all. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm excited to get back and just get playing again. Having like a game every single night is a ton of fun. Keeps you busy. And I think for me too, it's from college to pro ball. It's a big like switch up. So you have to really like get your days locked in because you have all morning till like 3 p.m. to do whatever you want. And obviously you'd like to sleep in more just because you go to bed late because you play until about 11 p.m. You don't get home till late. You have a bunch of adrenaline when you get home. You got to eat because you're starving. You haven't eaten since 3 p.m. Um, so I'm excited to get like a better foundation because I think I did a good job because I'm an early riser no matter what. Like no matter what time I go to sleep, I like getting up early. So for me, I had a lot of time in the mornings to burn when a lot of the other guys were sleeping just because they like to sleep in after a late night. And I completely understand that. I wish I could. I'm up and at 'em whenever. So I'm excited to get like a better foundation for my morning. I want to do more because last summer, like all I did was play baseball and work out. Like I didn't do anything else. And I love those two things a lot. And they're literally my life and like what I do. But I think trying to branch out, meet more people, go out and do more things in the town, and just like get doing more things with other teammates is I'm like really excited about playing and just finding more things to do in Kinston, becoming
Nice.
closer with everyone, you know?
Love it. I
Yeah.
love it. Well, thanks for wearing the same exact thing I'm wearing.
Yeah.
Our Bird
Good
Dogs
stuff.
quarter zip.
Good
That's, hey,
stuff.
we know what we like, and the Bird Dogs team store has it, so we're good. Of course, you can
Yeah.
get it right now on birddogs.myshopify.com if you want to look
Wow.
like
This is an ad right here. I
Yeah,
better
hey,
get paid commission off this.
it's a good ad. It's a good ad. Well,
Hit my
Steve,
Amazon storefront, dude.
Steve, I appreciate you. Thank you for coming on and talking with me for an hour.
I appreciate you anytime. If you want to do a part two, let me know.
Hey, maybe we'll dive deeper in your college days or next season. We'll see. I like
Dude,
it.
we can do anything. We can start just a me and you podcast. We can just call it Spence and Steve.
All right, we'll do
All
it.
right. All right then.
We'll throw Tapia needs to be our first guest, though.
Absolutely.
I love it.
100%.
All right, Steve. Appreciate you coming on, and of course, we'll have episode 4 out soon. Guest to be determined. But
Let's go.
thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.